Hello and welcome to the Minimum Competence episode for Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. I'm your host for today, Andrew Leahy, a tax and technology attorney from New Jersey. On today's episode, we have New York City Mayor Eric Adams' legal team assembles as he faces federal charges, the Democrats' challenge to Georgia election rules, and law firms turning to AI leadership roles. Let's remember, happy October, and read today's legal news. On this day in legal history, October 1st, 1924, so 100 years ago, William Hubbs Rehnquist, the 16th Chief Justice of the United States, eventually, he wasn't born that, was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Appointed to the Supreme Court in 1972 by President Richard Nixon, Rehnquist became a polarizing figure known for his staunch conservatism and originalist approach to the Constitution. His judicial philosophy often focused on restricting federal authority and bolstering states' rights, positions that critics argued rolled back civil rights protections and hindered federal progress on social justice issues. In 1986, President Reagan elevated Rehnquist to Chief Justice, a decision that pushed the court further right. At his swearing-in, Reagan hailed him as a defender of constitutional values, but opponents viewed his appointment as the solidification of an increasingly reactionary judiciary. The same ceremony saw Antonin Scalia, another conservative, sworn in, signaling a shift that would influence rulings on affirmative action, voting rights, and church-state separation. Rehnquist's tenure included controversial rulings, notably his role in Bush v. Gore in 2000, which critics argue undermined democratic principles by halting the Florida recount and effectively deciding a presidential election. His leadership on the court was also marked by decisions that curtailed congressional power under the Commerce Clause, weakening federal authority in areas like civil rights and environmental regulation. While his supporters celebrated him as a guardian of limited government, his legacy remains contentious, with lasting impacts on the court's direction and the balance between federal and state power. A fun little Rehnquist fact is that you'll see in any official pictures or portraits of him as Chief Justice, his sleeves have yellow armbands. Rehnquist insisted on adding 4 gold stripes on each sleeve to distinguish himself from the associate justices. He was inspired by the costume of the Lord Chancellor in a production of the Gilbert and Sullivan opera Iolanthe, and his addition of the stripes was an unusual departure from the traditional black robes worn by justices. It became a symbol of his unique approach to the role. New York Mayor Eric Adams has brought on 3 high-profile litigators as he faces federal criminal charges. William Burke, a former George W. Bush White House lawyer and current Fox Corp board member, is one of the lawyers advising Adams. Burke, known for representing figures like Stephen Bannon and Don McGahn, joins Quinn Emanuel, Urquhart, and Sullivan partners John Bash III and Avi Perry on Adams' defense team. Alex Spiro, a partner at Quinn Emanuel with experience defending high-profile clients like Elon Musk, is leading the defense. The charges involve allegations that Adams accepted lavish travel perks and held improper ties to the Turkish government. Adams, for his part, has denied wrongdoing and vowed to continue as mayor while fighting the charges. His legal team has requested the case's dismissal. Meanwhile, a legal defense fund for Adams has paid over $877,000 to law firm Wilmer Hale, and several staffers have left his administration amid ongoing investigations. Additionally, Teresa Hassler was recently appointed general counsel for the Mayor's Fund to Advance New York City, a nonprofit under scrutiny for its fundraising practices. Today, a Georgia judge will hear a challenge from Democrats against new election rules introduced by the Republican-led Georgia Election Board. These rules, approved in August, allow county officials to investigate discrepancies in vote counts and scrutinize election-related documents before certifying results. Democrats argue that these changes, which came just before the November 5th election, are designed to erode trust in the process and could delay certification. The rules were backed by 3 board members who are allies of Donald Trump, who continue to challenge his 2020 election loss in Georgia. Trump has praised these board members for their efforts to increase election security, though critics, including Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, say the changes could undermine voter confidence and strain election workers. A separate lawsuit was also filed to block a new requirement for a hand count of ballots. Democrats contend that these rules create confusion and provide too much leeway for local officials to investigate alleged fraud, potentially delaying results. The trial in Fulton County Superior Court is part of a broader national focus on battleground states like Georgia, where both Republicans and Democrats are intensely focused ahead of the upcoming presidential election. As artificial intelligence, that's AI for those in the know, continues to transform industries, more U.S. law firms are appointing executives to lead AI initiatives. Aiken Gump and McDermott Will and Emery both announced new AI leadership hires, with Aiken appointing Jeff Westcott as Director of Practice Technology and AI Innovation, and McDermott hiring Christopher Cyrus as Director of AI Innovation. These moves reflect the growing belief that AI will have a permanent role in the legal profession, particularly in areas like research, drafting legal documents, and reducing administrative tasks. Law firms are responding to client expectations and the surge in AI technologies, which have expanded dramatically in the past 2 years. Other firms, such as Covington and Burling, Latham and Watkins, and Reed Smith, have similarly created AI and data science roles since the rise of tools like ChatGPT. Westcott will focus on how Aiken Gump can strategically invest in AI technology, assessing whether to develop tools in-house, purchase products, or partner with vendors. Additionally, legal AI startup Harvey's chief strategy officer, Gordon Moody, transitioned to Debevoise and Plimpton as a partner specializing in mergers and acquisitions. These developments underscore the legal industry's growing focus on AI integration as firms aim to remain competitive and adapt to technological advances. And with that, and as always, I thank you so much for listening to Minimum Competence, your daily news podcast for lawyers. If you're looking for more than minimum competence, links to further reading on all the topics touched on today are in the show notes. And reviews go a long way towards helping new listeners to find our show. If you have a moment, leave a rating or review on your podcast player. We'd sure appreciate it. And if you know someone that might be interested in a story we cover, consider sending them the episode. But always remember, nothing here should be construed as legal advice because it is certainly not that. Minimum Competence is available at minimumcomp.com and wherever it is you get your finely crafted podcasts. If you haven't checked out the website in a while, give it a look. There are complete transcripts and resources for each episode and its corresponding segments, as well as an opportunity to receive new episodes in email, newsletter, form. We'll see you back here tomorrow, and until then, remember, we'll see you back here tomorrow.